Hi, performers and achievers. Welcome to Performers and Achievers Daily with me, Raj Gavurla. I hope you had happy holidays with your family, extended family, and friends. It's really nice to sort of slow down a little bit and put my emphasis on what's most important to me, and that is my family, and of course, all the other things that go to me raising my family. So you're probably in a similar situation. And that's where this episode is starting. And that is previously we talked about breathing. You're breathing as an example. You've been breathing all your life. However, you can go back and refer to the podcast on breathing and the structure that I use, that framework. And you can see that there's more to breathing and how it affects your mental performance, your mindset, and your breakthroughs in mental performance, your breakthroughs in mindset, your mindset breakthroughs. That's very important for you to realize. So you've been breathing all your life, but have you ever thought of, or do you think of, well, what can you do, or how do you, what is actionable to take advantage of your breathing so that it makes everything a little better, a little more effective, a little more efficient, a little easier, and you experience those breakthroughs, those intrinsic rewards and extrinsic rewards of knowing now what role breathing plays in your performance, in your achievements as you perform and achieve, right? And I could go into detail here. However, this isn't the purpose of this specific scenario. What's most important for you to know is first, why is breathing important? And obviously, breathing is important because you rely on breathing, the oxygen, the process of breathing. And the reason that breathing is important is that it puts you into a state to where you're activating your circuits and you're replenishing them and your parasympathetic network circuit is allowing it to be calm and relaxed. And when you perform and you're calm and relaxed, then your performance, your achievements are more at ease. You experience what I call the zone more often. So that's very important for you to know why. Now, how and what to do and what's actionable, well, watch the podcast or watch the video to see exactly what the different methods are. And then when we coach and train together, I customize it for you. And we'll introduce it slowly and show you the benefits for you to experience those and to experience the breakthroughs. And that goes right into today's episode. And today's episode is you make breakthroughs every day. Now, you may be thinking, there's no way I cannot set a record every day. And you're right. Then how can I make a breakthroughs every day? How can I experience those every day? Well, the reason is because as you go through your routines, your process, your system, what are your routine breakthroughs? What are your process breakthroughs? What is your system breakthroughs? What are your mindset breakthroughs? So usually what occurs there, and this is a way to evaluate those, to reflect on those, and to rate those. And that is, well, did you do what you set out to do in your routine today, your AM routine, your PM routine? If you did, well, you made a breakthroughs or you experienced breakthroughs, whether you realize it consciously or not, you did, because let's say you've been doing this for 10 days. Now this is day 11. So there's a breakthrough. You've done it now 11 days in a row. right? And so as you do that, you will start to experience intrinsically and extrinsically breakthroughs, rewards to where you start experiencing other breakthroughs. It starts to become ingrained in you, almost like it's part of your muscle memory, because it is, and it's more than that. And then now, because of that, you can make it to where you can add a little something to it. So something that might have took you, let's say, 20 minutes to do, now only takes you 10 minutes to do. But not because you're putting more effort into it. No, it's because you've experienced the breakthroughs, the compound effect of consistently doing it every day. And by doing so, and most importantly, by evaluating it with this type of outlook, you're experiencing the intrinsic rewards, the extrinsic rewards, and the breakthroughs, right? And that's how you make breakthroughs in your mindset. Your mindset makes breakthroughs versus saying, well, I just did this again. I did it for 10 days. Now I'm on day 11. So what? You see that break? I mean, there's nothing there to dig into, nothing there to feel a sense of accomplishment, to see a sense of accomplishment, to hear a sense of accomplishment, right? It's quite obvious, right? So it's very, very, very important that you create that atmosphere, that environment, that culture within you and around you. So that's very important. So you are experiencing breakthroughs. I just proved it to you. Now, of course, if you've been doing this 10 days and for whatever reason you don't do it on day 11, let's say you're like, it's not doing anything, it's not working, it's not for me. Well, what I suggest is the following. One is usually there's something, if you've already done the research and you've committed to this, there's something that's keeping you from doing that, whether you're fatigued, whether some life event happened, I don't know, you got a flat tire, so you couldn't make it to a certain place. I mean, those things happen in life, and that's adversity. And of course, we need to know how to deal with that adversity and realize to give ourselves some leeway there and know that, hey, I can't control that part of it, right? I couldn't control that I'd get a flat tire. I can control that I know what to do to go fix it and how to fix it so that I can get back on track. And so, right there and there, then and there, the way that you look at that is very important. So then you pick back up and so you're consistent. So that's very, very important. You're adapting to your environment, your atmosphere, your culture. You're versatile, you're flexing, and you're making small adjustments, small mental tweaks, right? So that's very important. Very, very important. So you are experiencing breakthroughs. Now, here's the other suggestion is let's say that you're not doing it because it's gotten boring, right? Well, it's good that it's gotten boring because when it gets boring, it really is a signal that's saying it's becoming a part of your muscle memory. And once it becomes a very ingrained part of your muscle memory, okay, and it's one of those things where when you talk to somebody, they know, they tell you, I know what I'm doing, I know what to do, right? They don't need to really think about it. It's already ingrained in their muscle memory. So it's immediately they know what to do, they know how to do it, they know when to do it, they know why to do it. And that's amazing. So it does become a little boring. However, then here's the key. Then you can add a new skill. So an example is I gave you several breathing exercises, several of them. I happen to do all of those, and I actually added a progressive breathing relaxation exercise that is not on my video or in my podcast. And so the reason I did is because I became effective and efficient at those. But when I first started out, I didn't start out like that. I first started out with one of the people that I've learned from, Brian Kane, Mental Performance Mastery. I started out with a few breathing exercises. I started out with the 628 breath that Brian Kane talks about. I knew what box breathing was, so I was already doing that, and I already knew what taking a deep inhale and then inhale again to open up my volia. I already knew that exercise, but then I did my research and I've gathered more, like the breath of life, right? So I've added these skills. And so now my breathing is more effective and efficient. And I know when to do them. Timing is very important, knowing when to use a specific skill. So, yes, did it get boring? Yes, I'm glad it got boring because that means it's ingrained in my muscle memory. So, what does that mean? Is I need to add a little something. When you went to school, you couldn't stay in, let's say, fifth grade the whole time. You couldn't just keep repeating fifth grade over and over and over and over again because you've already gained mastery of it. It's in your muscle memory. So you wanted to add a skill. You needed to add more skill. And that's exactly what you're doing. And that will never diminish. You'll always be adding a skill. It's just knowing when to add a skill and when not to add a skill. So actually, you should be going through the process of identifying skills well in advance so that you can learn about them, and that's nurturing. And then after nurturing, you then go and you develop them. You develop them. And then after developing them, you transform. Then after transforming, you build upon them. Then after building upon them, you grow that skill in you, or you grow your skill with that. And then you evolve your skill with that. And when you evolve your skill with that, what really happens is you're seeing how all these other items, which I call this concept, and I'll do a podcast on it, called an adaptability link starts to come into play, right? Right? So we're talking about elite mental performance mastery, the zone or the zone effect in my podcast, in my episode. However, I have a family. I'm raising a family. I have other interests, right? I have someone who services my car. So I can have these adaptability links and see how those industries do exactly what it is that I'm doing. However, they're more focused on making a car run effectively and efficiently, and I'm more focused on making a person run more effectively and efficiently, benefiting intrinsically rewarding, extrinsically rewarding, and then experiencing those breakthroughs. So that's what I have for you today. Okay. So, what is your bonus for today? Your bonus for today is to identify something where you are bored now. And I've talked to people, coach people, train people, and eventually they'll get to the point and they'll come to me and they'll tell me I'm bored. And what that is a signal for is for them to introduce something, a new skill for them to research about, to learn about, to nurture, to develop, right? To transform, to build upon, to grow, and then evolve. And then here they go. And then eventually that will become part of their muscle memory. So it all just builds on each other, grows on each other, and they evolve in their journey, their transformation, and their evolution. So go out there, make it a fun experience, and enjoy your day.